How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having an awesome day so far. Wraith here with another Doom Eternal video, and this time we're going to talk about some of the new details that we've received from one of the playthroughs of Doom Eternal that Hugo Martin recently played for on Mars Core. Now, this is obviously going to be a shorter video than usual since there's really not a whole lot of details, unless of course you want me to drag this on for 10 minutes, which I highly doubt. But here we do have a lot of good details that's really going to help out as far as us knowing what to kind of expect in the Ancient Gods Part 2. So before we get going, if you're new here and love Doom and similar content, be sure to like, subscribe, and set up notifications so that way you can stay up to date with the channel. Alright, well, let's get going. As far as a lot of the new details that we've received for the Ancient Gods Part 2, a lot of them have been very subtle and just, a lot of simple things just kind of, to give us a little taste of what to expect from Hugo Martin. But with this most recent stream from Mars Core, we did get to find out a few good things. Now, of course, the first thing that's really interesting, that really sparked my interest, is something that they're going to do with the quick switching or weapon wheel. Now, of course, with this, it's a little interesting to the fact that this is mostly going to help, I would say, those who are playing on controllers. So, of course, this could be really anyone on like Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC, because when you're on a controller, most of the time when you do a quick switch is using the weapon wheel. Now, of course, on a keyboard, this can help them out somewhat, because what this is going to be called is a weapon wheel open delay. For instance, I use keyboard, so I play on PC, so of course that default keybind is going to be Q. So that of course will bring up the weapon wheel, and you can technically use it to switch between different weapons like your previous and current weapon. So if you really want to do some of those ballista super shotgun combos, that's one way to do it. Showing here in this example, I was actually a little curious because I don't really use that, and what I've noticed is that it does have kind of a delay when quick switching there. And now I usually of course just use the weapon binds that I have, which actually work pretty well. I can get them down pretty well, like not as like some pros like Under the Mayo and all those other guys, but for me it actually works. But of course with the controllers, now I can see the difference there, because when I first started playing Doom 2016, I started on the Xbox, so I had to try to learn how to quick switch or change weapons using just the weapon wheel on a controller. Now of course, if you watch my other video of playing Doom 2016 on the PC, you can see that it's super easy now. But with this here, like basically what this is going to do is going to have an option in the settings menu that's going to let you set it up in milliseconds to basically use that button on the controller to basically set the delay or timing of doing the quick switch. So if you want it to have a bigger delay, then you can just kind of set the milliseconds on there, or have a shorter delay. And what that basically is going to do is just really help you trying to get those combos a lot quicker. So I think that's really great for those who are on the controllers. They actually can now kind of compete with people on PC, having a little bit more options there. And that's a great thing with Doom Eternal, is that with id Software, they're definitely really listening to a lot of feedback in the community, which I think is awesome, of course, because that's why id Software is one of my favorite developers. But anyway, that was the first thing that they have mentioned, and I guess we'll obviously see a lot more details on that down the road. The next big thing obviously was one of the new enemies. Now this one really intrigues me because it's not just like a new enemy like the Bloodmaker or the Spirit. Like, it's definitely something that's going to really keep us on our toes and to really change up the strategy. So with this one, is called the Screecher. Now, of course, there still could be the possibility of the Chain Gunner or other enemies, but this one, though, that we've learned from the devs so far, is that this one pretty much is a mobile buff totem. So what's going to happen with this one, it's going to be a slow walking hell zombie that's kind of, I guess the best way you can think of it, like a walking buff totem, and it will just kind of walk around, and if you kill it, it will have an area of effect explosion. So what that will do is it will buff any of the surrounding demons. Now, of course, we don't really know how big that surrounding blast will be. I would imagine it's relatively small, but also not too big or not too small, so that would definitely buff a lot of demons in the vicinity. So with this one here, it's really going to be challenging, because especially how with Hugo, he did mention in the stream that there will be a time where there'll be 3 Screechers and 2 Marauders. So if you're going to try killing them, the Marauders, if you accidentally miss a Marauder with a ballista, or you use a grenade or anything like that, there's a possibility that you're going to kill one of the Screechers and buff the Marauders. Now, having 2 buffed Marauders, yeah, that's going to be very complicated, because for the average player, even just the 2 Marauders on the Super Gorness Master level was too much to handle for me anyway. So having that happen, I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle that. But anyway, that's the new enemy. It's going to be something that's really going to have to make us really focus on our maneuverability and, of course, not using or overusing grenades and other explosive weapons such as remote detonation as well. Something else I wanted to mention too that was kind of subtly mentioned in the stream was that Josh was saying across the lines that he was playing or playtesting the Mars Core Master level. So that might have been a hint that one of the next Master levels would be Mars Core. And that one honestly is one of my favorite levels. So of course with the Super Gore Nest, that one's my favorite level, and now with Mars Core, that just makes all the difference right there. So that's really cool. And then really overall, as far as the status of the DLC, of course we know that people are playtesting it. Josh has been playing it. He's been playing the boss level against the Dark Lord, and now they did say that it does need to have some more balancing on that. So really they're just in the balancing stage, and we could really expect a trailer sometime soon. I would say if anything probably around March, because now you can see with the new schedule that they're starting to combine a lot of the streams. So of course with like Sentinel Prime, they'll play that with Terrace Nabad, both the Necrovals and so on. And so what they want to do is try to get everything done by March 11th, and that's really close to the 1-year anniversary for Doom Eternal. So I guess we'll see what happens, if there will be a trailer and maybe a release date as well. I would say sometime it might be in March or April, but I guess we'll see. But other than that, that is all we have so far as the new updates for the Ancient God Part 2. Like I said, I didn't want to make this video too long because that's all we have. That's really not a whole lot of info. But I hope you guys liked the video, and if so, definitely, consider subscribing and check out my social media accounts at RipNtear Gaming. Also, just to let you guys know, I will be working on a review video of some kind for the new Horde mode, The Trial of the Dark Lord by Prote and Solar. It's been really difficult so far, but we'll see what happens. I may do a review video on it, or at least do some kind of walkthrough, but we'll figure that out down the road. And until next time, hope you guys have a good one, stay safe, and don't forget to rip and tear. Peace.